Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Company Heroes 2 cast, and it is a 1 vs 1 on Road to Kharkov, and I'm really glad this is my 14th cast, so I can get off the old unlucky 13. But over here at the top, we have the Wehrmacht Ihito WWU with a question mark. I added the question mark, but I don't know what that means. Maybe a clan designation. And over on the bottom, we have the Russian Sturm Tiger Sage 6.
You need something built?
We have two engineers coming out for the Russians right off the bat, and no building. And of course the Grenadier and the engineer for the Wehrmacht right at the start. And so the Russians got a slight advantage because he got out two engineers right off the bat, so he can easily take multiple territory points right off the bat. And now he has some conscripts, so he has much more than the Wehrmacht right off the bat, but soon that'll change.
This is our sector now.
Putting some barbed wire up here to block any enemies. Maybe tunnel them in a little bit there. And making a munitions cache right off the bat, too. So that's a really early munitions cache. And engineers moving forward towards the middle victory point. Also putting some barbed wire down. Seem to be playing pretty similar. Grenadiers heading out to this territory point up here. And we have an MG42 team for the Wehrmacht.
You need something demolished?
Even more barbed wire going down. All kinds of it going all over the place here to impede vehicles and infantry movement. Little light vehicles typically can't get through there.
Engineers standing by. The sector.
And also sort of prevents other troops from using the cover as well as they wanted to.
Watch out!
And even more barbed wire going down. So barbed wire madness this game. And engineers taking the territory point and the far left victory point. The Wehrmacht taking the middle victory point at the same time. So it will sort of even itself out there.
This territory is ours.
No one yet going for the right side victory point, but these grenadiers might move there afterwards.
We have it.
And so with all this barbed wire going down, this is going to be a very interesting game to see how it plays out, because they'll all be trying to get around even their own barbed wire. And the barbed wire prevents troops from actually getting up here to this cover very well. So the defending player gets to use the cover, but the offending player does not get to use the cover. And these engineers are going to have to get out of there. Not going to be able to hold up against a pioneer squad and a grenadier squad.
Have secured the sector. Engineers standing by.
235 mines going down at the territory point. So mines and barbed wire galore. And there's another example of barbed wire in front of the sandbags so that the enemy can't use it, but he can on the other side. Even more mines going down.
You need something demolished?
And a pretty good strategy there. Pretty good idea. I don't see a lot of people doing this, but it seems like a really good idea. MG covering the middle victory point here, so these engineers are probably going to get suppressed right off the bat here if they switch targets, and these guys are pretty much out of range, so it's going to go there next. But hits in the house just fine. Conscripts fighting the grenadiers here, but getting suppressed by the MG42 team. And conscripts versus grenadiers and pioneers having to run away. Too much firepower for the Russians to handle there. Conscripts nearly suppressed, nearly pinned rather. And need to get out of there pretty soon, but they do have cover here, so it takes a little bit longer to actually get pinned. Engineers moving forward on these pioneers here. The pioneer with negative cover might lose that pioneer. Conscripts in the middle here, but they're getting sandwiched by two grenadier squads. Took a lot of losses there. A couple men right off the back because they had the negative cover being in the road. More engineers jumping the fence here, trying to get back into the building, or hide behind it rather, from the machine gun. So lots of conscripts coming out for the Russian team. 3 conscripts, 2 engineer squads. Nothing new yet coming from the Wehrmacht. 3 grenadier squads and the MG42. And these engineers just sort of holding the army back for now. Not really going to get, probably not going to get any kills, that is. But just holding them off right here because they're just totally occupied right here for now.
Soldiers ready.
Engineers moving up on these grenadiers. Always a pretty good fight between grenadiers and conscripts, especially when they're point blank shooting each other.
We are taking losses.
I like how they still miss point blank. These guys didn't go to boot camp. Come on, guys, you can do it.
We are bleeding, comrade.
Down to 2 and 2. So the grenadiers definitely win out on that. Or at least that time they did. Flamethrower with conscripts moving up now. And MG42 has moved a little bit forward into the victory point. Or a little bit unsafe from this side at that angle, but no big deal. I can just turn it around. Engineers taking this far left territory point. And the Russians taking the far right victory point. So they have both the victory points. We'll start whittling down the Wehrmacht.
Engineer standing by.
And more barbed wire in front of the cover so that they can use the cover back here, but then you can't bring your own forces up here and use it like that. So pretty ingenious. I might actually have to start doing that in my own games. Barbed wire is free, and so is sandbags. So you can just put this all down, and it's really great cover for free. It just takes a matter of time. And engineers with the flamethrowers got to get out of there. MG42 and 2 grenadiers. Dushka, heavy machine gun here, firing at this one pioneer. You better get out of there. Recently, they did buff the Dushka heavy machine gun. It was a little underpowered for a while, and they increased its slightly increased its armor penetration at higher veterancies, and also increased its suppression a little bit. And that was with the overpowered Su-76 patch. So they did that at the same time. Buffed the machine guns a little bit. And the Dushka was a little bit underpowered. You paid for it. You'd expect it to be really awesome, and it was kind of mediocre. So it definitely needed that. Conscripts now setting up sandbags here, right in front of the victory point, making it a little bit hard to get that cover. But now with this green cover, it should be doing some pretty good damage to these. But now those grenadiers also getting in cover and totally surrounded, but the Dushka heavy machine guns firing at grenadiers, suppressing them pretty quickly. This MG42 is going to set up and start firing at these conscripts, but they do have green cover, so it's going to take a long time to suppress them. And a whole bunch of troops moving out from the Russian base after reinforcing and possibly healing. Did he get the medics? Yeah, he got the medics. And now we have a sniper coming out for the Wehrmacht team. And I did cast a game one time on this map with the Wehrmacht at the top and had a sniper. And I think he ended up, before he lost the sniper, he had 60 or 70 kills on it. It was quite impressive. More than paid for itself. Flamethrower engineers firing at these grenadiers, but also probably going to take a couple losses of engineers. And a missed rifle grenade. Does cost quite a bit to use rifle grenades at 30 munitions per shot. However, they can be really, really effective. Sometimes you get a really good shot and you take out sometimes even a whole squad. And it's just sort of random, really, wherever you hit it, however you hit it directly. Dushka firing out of the side of the house, forcing anything that comes back here, instantly suppressing them. And this engineer is going to have to retreat back. Engineers with 3 in the group just hopped over the fence, and that wasn't a good idea because then he retreated and had to run all the way around the fence. So he may lose this engineer now because of that. But not too big of a loss, as an engineer is only 180, so it's not the greatest loss. Conscripts making sandbags right in the middle of the road here. And these conscripts trying to hold out against 3 grenadier squads and an MG42. They're going to have to get out of there pretty soon. Now that all the grenadiers firing at the conscripts that are running in the road because they have negative cover, and got a couple kills off because of that. Dushka still at it, trying to suppress these pioneers, but the sniper's way in the back here, and he's getting a kill at a time on this Dushka here. And although he doesn't get a kill every shot because they're in a house, it's a pretty high chance to get a kill every shot. conscripts versus grenadiers. The conscripts have slightly better cover, but the grenadiers have a MG42, and a rifle grenade was just launched, but only killed one troop, so not as much as he wanted it to kill. And this Dushka's almost out. This sniper's whittling him down with a total of 5 kills so far, and there's only one left, so he's going to have to retreat that out of there. And these conscripts doing pretty good, not getting suppressed by the MG42 because they're in that green cover. And there goes a body flying in the air. That was pretty wild. I don't even think there was an explosion. Here comes an M5 half-track. It's got an engineer squad and a guard squad in it. And he called that in with his Lend-Lease commander with the half-track assault group. And the Wehrmacht has yet to pick a commander, possibly waiting for a better time. And the half-track's in a little bit of trouble. Took a Panzerfaust and knocked out its engine, so it's moving pretty slow. And these grenadiers tried to run up on these conscripts, but not the greatest idea because these conscripts are 2 veterancy and lost that grenadier. And these engineers are just flaming up this MG42. A lot of firepower coming out of that clown car. Well, that's technically not the clown car, but it's the bigger clown car. Wehrmacht and Russian owning just about the same amount of territories. Maybe the Russian owns a couple more. Guard rifle moving out, but these aren't the guard rifles with PGRS sniper or anti-tank rifles. They actually have PPSH submachine guns because they were called in with this M5 half-track with this commander. They're setting down more mines. However, they're planting it and they're getting shot at. And if they if that mine goes off, then it will destroy those engineers. And I've seen that many a time. You can launch a rifle grenade where they're planting a mine. It'll actually blow up the mine right in their faces. So not only do you get rid of the mine, you kill many troops in the process. So if you ever see that, try to rifle grenade as soon as possible. But he looks like he didn't have the munitions to do it. He's only got 22, so at the time he probably only had 19 or 20. Putting more mines out, and pretty much the only areas all the way down, so pretty clever spots. And it looks like that mine went off. Something blew it up. I think the PaK-40 must have hit ground fired right there. But when he did it, the MG42 was right around there, so he lost a couple men from that too, so that wasn't very good. Sniper still firing, only 10 kills, but he's getting there. And the Dushka heavy machine gun suppressing all these troops, doing a really good job. The buff to the machine gun was well deserved, but I still don't think it was enough. It's just it's nothing special. The Dushka, you would think it is, but it just it's mediocre. Does the job. M5 half-track trying to juke out this PaK-40 here, trying not to get hit by it at the same time, shooting it with conscripts and flamethrowers. So a pretty annoying car here. Can't really seem to take it out. Doesn't have the munitions to Panzerfaust it either. Russian guard rifles. Trying to get that deserter there. Doesn't matter if they get it or not. He's deserting anyway. And the Russian army took over the PaK-40. And it's always nice to have engineers in these trucks or the clown car, because you can just pop them right out and start repairing it. As soon as it's repaired, just drop them right back in and continue the flamethrower madness. I would like to see 2 flamethrowers in this at the same time. That'd be kind of humorous. It'd be like the German half-track. And these engineers got to get out of there. And at the same time, it is rearming this, or reinforcing this army. So it's serving a big purpose. Mobile flamethrower and conscripts. Machine gun on the front. And it also reinforces troops at the same time. So a really good pick, really good use of the M5. You don't really see it a lot. And so this game's shown it's quite useful. And the Dushka's up, but however there's a Stug 3 and it's moving forward. And the Dushka really isn't going to do anything to it. Maybe if they use armor-piercing rounds, but it would still take quite some time to do damage, especially to the front armor, which might not penetrate it at all. M5 half-track moving up on these grenadiers, but they looks like they have just enough to Panzerfaust at once. And so they do. They take out the engine, but that's the best they can do right now. They can't hit it again. Doesn't have the munitions to do it. But here comes the Stug 3 and shoots it right in the side. These troops are going to have to get out of there before that blows up. And going to have to retreat them out of there before they lose any troops.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
Now the Russian team bringing up the ye ol' Pak 40
The enemy is encroaching
and
on
trying to aim it at
territory.
this Stug, trying to get a good shot on this Stug. Wait until he's coming back around. Conscripts running forward, but they don't have the anti-tank grenades. He never researched it, so he's not really going to be able to do anything, just maybe distract at the very best. And setting up the Pak 40 now,
The enemy
but
has
just out of
control
range.
the sector.
And here we have a M4C Sherman from the Lend-Lease Tactics incoming to contest this Stug 3. And the Stug 3 is faced the wrong way.
Additional resources are now
However, these
available
troops are going to see this
your
tank, and so he'll probably turn around and face the correct way.
AT gun here. Engineer standing by.
We are ready.
And that Stug 3 is definitely trying to get out of there. He knows he's probably not going to beat the Sherman. In a long-distance battle, it would, but the Sherman is so much more mobile, they can just kind of juke around it, so he's going to have to sit all the way back in his base. And these Grenadiers just don't have the munitions to fire a Panzerfaust at this, which would be really, really welcome right now to knock out this engine. And he loses his Stug 3. It's a big loss for the Wehrmacht.
We now have access to additional battlefield options.
And now just basically harassing the Wehrmacht here because he just doesn't have an answer for these Shermans. He lost his Pak 40, he lost his Stug. And the Wehrmacht surrendered, making Sturm Tiger Sage the winner by a pretty large margin. Pretty much overran him. In just a few more minutes, he'd pretty much totally overrun his base. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I will see you guys next time.